Hello. I wanted to talk to you today about some of the experiences that we've had, some of the lessons that we've learned in our journey to flexible working. Obviously, in the current climate, a lot of organisations are moving towards offering working from home options for their staff, and a lot of managers, a lot of business owners are very concerned about what this means for productivity and for the business and how it runs. So we've been working on this for a long time, and we've been on a journey for several years now towards offering flexible working. What we call the untethered recruitment company is what we're aiming to become. We've learned a lot. We've made a lot of mistakes. We've tried a lot of things out. We've tried to be very innovative. Some of it's worked, some of it hasn't. What I wanted to do really share with you in a couple of videos, 3 key learnings that we've taken from that journey. And we've won a lot of awards for our working environment, for innovation, for being employer of choice, etc. Largely around our approach to flexibility. And not doing this to show off, just thought in the current climate it's quite a good opportunity for organisations to share some of the things that they do that could benefit other organisations within our interconnected community. So 3 main things that we've learned. I'll go through those, and in each of those I'll do a separate video to go into a lot more depth. Each of these 3 key learnings on face value are seem very simple, and you're going to sort of go, yeah, of course, that goes without saying. But each of those, although it's simple, is not easy, and it's very. Each of those we've gone into in a lot of depth. We've learned a lot on each of those 3 key points. So, and the first thing that we've learned on our journey so far is that this concept that we call it trust and verify, and that is that as a manager, once you put your workforce out into remote working, the first thing you're going to start doing is you're going to spend your time eating yourself up, worrying, are they working, are they not, what are they doing, or I don't know what's going on. And people working from home are going to spend a lot of their time, particularly the conscientious ones, which is the ones you should be worried about, worrying about you, worrying about them. So what you need to have in place is this concept of trust and verify. And that is that you trust your people. You trust them to work from home. You trust them to be productive. You trust them to do what you pay them to do. But also you have this ability to verify. And that means up-to-date, real-time metrics and KPIs that you can measure instantly, all the time. And now what that isn't about micromanagement. In fact, the opposite. What it does, it actually gives your workforce working from home freedom. It gives them the ability to just get on and do their role, relax, knowing that you're not concerned about them, you're not worried about whether or not they're working. And meanwhile, you can get on knowing that your workforce knows that it is relaxed and productive, and you can check in if you need to, but you don't really need to because you trust them. So you have trust and verify. And putting that in place and getting that right is very, very difficult. And without that, working from home can become really unproductive. With that done right, it can be incredibly productive. And we'll talk about that more detail in the next video. The second thing that we've learned is it's assumption. It's about your own personal assumptions as a manager, as a business owner, around your people and about why you're doing this. The first assumption that the most people do wrong is that working from home is done as a benefit. If you go into it with the assumption that it is a benefit, is a reward to your staff, and you link it to achievement, etc., you will fail. Working from home and flexibility needs to be about productivity. It needs to be first and foremost about your business and your workforce being more productive. If they're not more productive at home, don't do it. If they are more productive at home, then do it. And the fact that it is a reward and it is awesome for them in their life, and they get to work in their pajamas, etc., and all those brilliant things about working from home, that's a side benefit. But the main purpose for doing it is because they are more productive, and you need that fundamental attitude when you go into it. The other attitude that managers tend to have is this. There's 2 types of managers. The first ones will assume that if left alone, people that work for them will skive off, will basically doss around, will do the minimum work required, are not trustworthy. The second type of manager will assume that people that work for them will step up. If given trust, if given responsibility, if given accountability, will step up to that. And every good manager knows if you do that right, they do. And if you go into flexible working with the first attitude, you will fail. If you go in with the second attitude, backed by all the other things that we're going to talk about in these 3 key points, you will succeed. And a third learning, I suppose, that we've taken from our journey seems really obvious one, is to use technology and systems and really think through how those technology and systems reinforce those other two elements that we're talking about here. So obvious one is to look at VoIP phones, look at video conferencing, etc. And that's fairly obvious. But technologies, particularly in flexible working and working from home, is so much more. So the main issues you're going to face are about connectivity, about maintaining a cohesive culture and sense of community within an organisation. And there's loads of technology solutions that we'll talk about in another video that can help build that cohesive culture. And thinking those through and making those technology choices and the systems around how people work from home, not just technology, but reward systems, meeting systems, etc. Getting those right to reinforce every other aspect of it means that working from home is incredibly productive. So we'll release another 3 videos, each of those in much more detail. How this has been useful to you. Stay safe, stay healthy, and see you on the other side of this crisis. Okay, good luck with it, and enjoy your journey towards working from home.